Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the St. Paul Fire Class of 2022B graduation ceremony. My name is Jeremy Baker. I'm the Deputy Chief of Training for the St. Paul Fire Department. It's my honor to open these proceedings for our 20 Academy graduates. This ceremony is the culmination of 13 weeks of intense and comprehensive training and builds upon 167 years of proud tradition and service to the residents and visitors of the City of St. Paul. The St. Paul Fire Honor Guard and Pipes and Drums will now present the colors. Once posted, we will remain standing and recite the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. We'd like to thank the members of the St. Paul Firefighters Local 21 Honor Guard and also the Minnesota State Fire Service Memorial Pipe Band for their presentation and their dedication to our department. We are honored to have some special guests here today to help us celebrate. They have some messages for you, our newest firefighters. Deputy Mayor Jamie Tincher, it is my honor to invite you up to the podium.
Hi, everybody. It's great to be here in person. I bring my regrets from Mayor Carter. He really wanted to be here, but I'm actually really glad that I got to come in his place because as I was thinking today, I haven't had an opportunity to join the fire department in a celebration since COVID hit. And what that has meant is that the time that I've spent with the St. Paul Fire Department, over the past 2 years, we've been at multiple active member funerals over the past 2 years. We've been in EOCs for arson and responding to a pandemic. We've been in vaccination clinics and dealing with responding to the COVID pandemic on the ground in encampments and helping individuals who are experiencing homelessness. I want to tell you that the department you are joining is amazing. And I think that cities across the country probably say that, and I don't believe that they really understand it the way that we do here in St. Paul, because of the women and men who made the decision to serve our residents, to serve all the members of our community, and do it with such distinction. I'm so proud of our department. I'm proud of day in and day out the members of the department that I stand with in so many different ways and watch them just care for our community. And so I'm thankful and I'm grateful that as you've seen over the past 2 years, what it means to be a paramedic, a firefighter during a pandemic and responding to the needs of a community, you still made the decision to do this work. And that tells me something about each of you and your character. And I'm grateful, and in advance of all of the years of service that you're going to give our community, I want to say thank you. To the family and loved ones that are here, I want to say thank you to you. When your loved one goes to do all of those things that I just described, they leave your family and you worry. And so thank you for what you do so that they can do the care for us. And then I have a request. Being deputy mayor in the city, there are so many wonderful things. The worst thing about being deputy mayor is all of the text messages and the phone calls that I get from Chief Inks when he's telling me about terrible things that are happening in the city. And I know that somewhere in the city, some members of our fire department are in that terrible spot, in that terrible place, responding to that emergency. And so it breaks my heart when I hear those, when I see those text messages. And my request to you is watch your loved one, watch their mental health, watch what is happening with them. And if they need help, if they need care, please let the members of their fire department and their family know, because we need them, and they can't care for us if we're not caring for them and if they're not caring for themselves. So with that, thank you. Thank you. Our entire city is grateful.
Thank you, Deputy Tincher. Representing Amy Klobuchar's office is Outreach Director Ruby DeBellis. Welcome, Ruby.
Thank you, Deputy Chief Baker. I have a message from Senator Klobuchar. Dear graduates, I offer my sincere congratulations on your milestone achievement. Though my schedule prevents me from being with you in person today, I would like to take this opportunity to recognize your tremendous success and to thank you for your service and sacrifice. It takes commitment and dedication to one's community to choose this profession, and I am so grateful that you all made that choice. I know it was a long path to get here. I can only imagine how challenging the St. Paul Fire Department Academy is under normal circumstances. But as a class who has persevered and completed this 13-week program through a pandemic, you deserve special recognition. The St. Paul Fire Department's commitment to providing exceptional public education, fire protection, and emergency medical services reflects the bravery and integrity that lies within each and every one of you. Today's achievement is a product of your knowledge, skill, and commitment, as well as a testament to your talent, your work ethic, and dedication to public service. I, along with your friends and family, am proud of you and grateful for your service. Congratulations again. I wish you continued success in the future, and I'm proud to serve you in the United States Senate. Sincerely, Amy Klobuchar, United States Senator. Thank you.
It is my honor to invite St. Paul City Council President Amy Brenmoen to the podium.
Well, hello. I want to make sure folks can hear me. From back here, the mic seems kind of quiet, but thumbs up. Got me? Okay, great. So my name is Amy Brenmoen, and I am the president of the St. Paul City Council. I also represent Ward 5, which is basically Lake Como to Lake Phalen on the northern central part of the city. I also just want you to know that I recently got appointed to Ramsey County Dispatch Board, so I'm kind of in the mix there too. It's pretty exciting. I'm here on behalf of my colleagues at the City Council to congratulate the cadets on today's huge accomplishments. Very exciting. It's been my privilege to serve with Chief Inks before he was chief, and now as chief for the past 11 years, as well as Union President Mike Smith and his leadership with the Local 21, who are really instrumental in me even being here today. So it's just been 11 wonderful years of that strong partnership. When I was asked to speak here today, I was delighted and honored to be asked, and I started thinking about some of the ride-alongs I've done with the fire department. And the one that stuck out to me that I wanted to share with you is the first ride-along that I did. I was getting a tour of a firehouse. My favorite thing is the pants in a pile that you can just jump into and pull up really quickly. I do that at home too, so I thought it was pretty cool. But we were doing the tour, and all of a sudden a call came in. And the call was that somebody had dropped an eagle on their hand. And I was like, what? I tried to have a poker face because all of the fire department crew was super serious and getting into the ambulance and heading out to take care of the situation. And I'm like, I better act mature here, but there was a part of me that's like, are we going to the Raptors Center? Are we, how did someone drop an eagle on their hand? And then as we were driving, I admit, I didn't want anyone to be hurt, but I kind of wanted there to be like an eagle versus human situation, because that is something I've never encountered. But the crew was very serious, and it was actually like what I've grown to expect from our fire department. Whether it's talking to my constituents, when I go door knocking, whether it's at meetings, they play back that all of their interactions with our St. Paul Fire Department are professional, are calming, are reassuring, whether it's a minor incident to something very grave and dark. Again and again, people report back to me how proud and pleased they are to be in St. Paul and to have this incredible group of people serving them. I personally called the fire department one time because I smelled a fire, but I couldn't see a fire. And dispatch actually was like, well, did you have a fire tonight? And I'm like, well, yeah, but it's out now, and I'm smelling something else. But the fire department came, and again, very serious, very professional, and they too could smell a fire but not see a fire. And then somebody, and this was a very cold day in December, decided to step outside. And we looked, and at the outside of my house, the vinyl siding was melting. And so there was a fire actually between the walls in my home. And having the fire department there on that very, very cold day, putting out what was an incredible fire in my chimney, was very reassuring for myself, for my family, and my 3 little kids were completely and totally in awe. It was an incredible experience. And while I spent the rest of the night thinking the rest of my house was going to burn down, it was very reassuring even to see some of the technology that they used as well. But I think pinnacle for me was when I was able to be part of Incident Command during Civil Uprising and really watch your chief, your fire leadership team working with precision and urgency and seriousness to deal with a crisis on the ground. And then also being able to see by cameras how our fire department was responding. It was humbling. It was an incredible experience. It made me very, very proud. And echoing words that I've heard here today, you are joining a great, great team. And I believe that your family and your family is growing today through this addition of this group to our St. Paul Fire Department. And so congratulations to you all. I'm looking so forward to working with you. And I know you guys want to know what happened with the eagle, don't you? Well, we got there, and no, it wasn't a man versus eagle situation. It was kind of boring. A guy had dropped an eagle statue on his hand. So, sorry. You never know, though, but I can tell you what, even if it would have been the eagle situation, I think that our team would have done a good job. Kind of glad it was actually just the statue. But congratulations. Thank you so much. I look forward to working with you all.
Thank you, President Brenmoen. It's my pleasure to invite our Fire Chief, Butch Inks, to the podium.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the graduation ceremony of these soon-to-be 20 new firefighters. I want to start by thanking our honored guests for either being here today or sending their congratulations. Senator Klobuchar, Congresswoman McCollum, Mayor Carter, Deputy Mayor Tincher, Council President Brenmoen, and all of the members of the St. Paul City Council. Thank you for your continued support of our department, people, and our missions. Their support is a clear indication of the priority they put on public safety and the success of our firefighters. Since its inception in 1855, the St. Paul Fire Department has served its residents in numerous and changing ways. And this year alone, we will respond to over 60,000 calls to service. Types of calls that cover all hazards, including medical calls, fire calls, technical rescues, and we even inject some of our medics into the St. Paul Police Department SWAT team. And in addition to what we would call those traditional emergencies, our department was and is on the front line to the city's response to the COVID-19 pandemic and is out daily playing a significant role in responding to our unsheltered community. Our services have evolved since I came on about 28 years ago, and continue to evolve with the development of programs like our social worker response team, our air rescue team in partnership with the State Patrol, and our partnerships with other city departments, regional agencies, and community groups within the city. Following our last graduation academy class ceremony on June 17th, and just blocks away from this site, crews responded to a report of a trench collapse. Recovery efforts took over 12 hours and involved members of the Minneapolis Fire's Task Force Group, St. Paul Police, Emergency Management, and Public Works. I share this for two reasons. We use our partnership and function more as a public safety team than ever before. And the second is these firefighters to the right of me will be on calls tomorrow responding to many needs in our community. Recruiting and retaining people within public safety has become more difficult. Throughout our nation, we are seeing record low applications for positions within the fire department. More and more, we are seeing people leave public safety careers early. A global pandemic, civil unrest, and response to rising gun violence have impacted both recruiting and retention of those in public safety today. This is the second of two classes in a hiring effort that will bring our department back to full strength. Almost 30% of this class has come through one of our department pathway programs, the EMS Academy, the BLS program, or for some, both. A promotional process through our pathway program has been over 13 years in the making. For those who are not familiar with our EMS Academy, it is a program designed for low-income and underrepresented communities from St. Paul or Ramsey County. Recruitment is targeted to youth of diverse ethnicity, linguistic ability, and cultural experience, with the goal of building an EMS workforce reflective of the St. Paul communities. The first EMS Academy was in 2009. It is celebrating its 13th year anniversary, and currently we have our 20th class in session. Our EMS Academy has had 300 graduates since starting in 2009. Graduates have gone on to paramedic school, worked in local hospitals and emergency rooms, been hired by the St. Paul Fire BLS Division, or hired by other metro area ambulance services. 33 members of our Pathways program have gone on to be St. Paul firefighters. Our BLS services started in 2013 and expanded to 911 response in October of 2019. The first members of our BLS 911 division to be hired as firefighters through the promotional process are in this class here. I'm excited for the opportunity this presents for our department's ability to meet future staffing needs, help diversify our department, and make it more reflective of our community we serve. Thank you to Chief Simpson and Chief Adams for their hard work and dedication to the foundation of both the EMS Academy, Station 51, and the BLS 911 division. Without your efforts over the past 13 years, we would not be in the position we are in today. I commend the professionalism of the training staff and their efforts in preparing you for everything you might encounter day one on the streets, which for some of you is tomorrow. They've done a remarkable job training 2 concurrent academy classes across 2 sites. Thank you, Chief Baker and your training staff for your efforts. To the new firefighters, you're joining this department and the fire service during a time where our global community is uncertain, fearful, and some skeptical of those in public safety. In the face of all that, you are agreeing to answer the call to provide prompt, compassionate services to our residents and visitors, regardless of the circumstances, and possibly on their worst day. Thank you for not only answering the call to service, but also following through during a time when you are very much needed. Before I leave the podium, I want to thank Local 21 and the leadership of the union and their partnership that we've had for many years. And I'd also like to thank the families. To the spouses, children, parents, and family members of these new firefighters and all of our department members, your enduring sacrifice and the support you give our department allows us to serve our residents with proficiency, compassion, and pride. You keep us grounded, loved, supported, and successful. We will always remember and appreciate the families also serve. May all of you have long and safe careers. Congratulations.
Thank you, Chief Inks. Ladies and gentlemen, honored guests, Chief Inks, Chief Gady and Simpson, fellow firefighters and academy graduates. A successful firefighter training academy requires a significant team effort. The time investment occurs not only during the actual weeks of the academy, but also in the months of advanced work building on years of training and experience. It is no small feat to provide a recruit academy with all the training and instruction they need to meet all the hazards that will be thrown at them, and to do so in 13 weeks is nothing short of incredible. This particular academy was delivered in partnership with Century College. I'd like to thank the members of our training division team as well as the team from Century College. Please stand when I read your names. Century College leadership headed by retired Captain Steve Shapira. Century College team was led by Captain Mick Korba, who couldn't be here today. The St. Paul Fire Instructor cadre, led by Captains Kyle Bodie and Captain Jeremy Maxey, neither of which were able to be here today as well. The staff that we do have here today, the newest captain in the department, Captain Martha Fecht. Captain Anton Fehrenbach. Firefighter Justin Briggle. Firefighter Brian Buxton. Firefighter Brittany Baker, wherever you are, over here on the side. And firefighter Ryan Eckert and Kyle Thornburg, neither of which were able to be here today. This is the group that led them from day one to today and deserve the lion's share of the respect that goes out to a group well trained. Though many others taught, mentored, and worked out with this group to get them here and put them on the stage today. So one more round of applause for a wonderful instructor group. Class of 2022B, you're sitting in these seats right now that many other people have sought and are still seeking. To be in those seats over the past 13 weeks, you've endured a rigorous and demanding fire academy. You've been pushed in the classroom with seemingly never-ending lessons, materials to digest, and tests to pass. You've been pushed in physical training to be in the best shape of your life and exceed your own limits, capable of climbing many flights of stairs and fighting a fire at the top when you get there. You've been pushed to adapt and overcome when an obstacle is placed in your path and work as a team throughout it all. You have been pushed and you have succeeded. You will walk out of this academy and this graduation with the necessary skills to save lives, save property, and help thousands of people on what may be the worst day of their life. You've been trained by experienced instructors on topics including vehicle extrication, hazardous materials, high-rise firefighting, firefighter safety and survival, rapid sequence intubation, medical emergencies, and many, many more subjects that you've been trained. Your instructors challenged you every day for 13 weeks to make sure you were ready, capable, and competent. Your families have undoubtedly been challenged in supporting your success over the past 13 weeks. We'd like to thank all the family members and friends joining us today for the sacrifices you've made to support these men and women in the successful completion of this academy. There's a saying you just heard from Chief Inks and throughout the fire service that it's not just firefighters that serve, but firefighter families also serve. Your service to our community does not go unnoticed. You are all now part of a firefighting family, which you will grow to understand as a tight-knit group that many times truly becomes your second family. Please join me in a round of applause for the families and loved ones who helped these firefighters make it to today. In just a few minutes, you will be presented with a badge signifying your willingness to put your lives on the line and before others. You've worked hard for this honor. This badge is not given, it's earned. To earn it, you've successfully completed a 13-week academy in which you've risen to the challenge of an accelerator classroom and well above average physical demands. You successfully completed written tests, practical tests, state certifications, hazardous material trainings, and much more. You've also met the intense physical demands, and thanks to Firefighter Buxton and the rest of the cadre, you've risen to the challenge and succeeded. That is no small accomplishment. The firefighters you are about to join take pride in being St. Paul firefighters, pride in working hard, and pride in serving and protecting all those who come in contact. You should be proud of this accomplishment as well. Carry that pride and use it to continue the job of being the best firefighter, EMT, or paramedic you can be. You are moving on to a new chapter in your career. You are about to be promoted to the position of firefighter. Your challenge from today on is to continue to grow, to stay fit and capable, and to learn each day that you come to work. For myself, the entire training cadre, and all those that help get you ready, and the rest of St. Paul Fire, we wish you a long, safe, and successful career. May God guide you, protect you, and give you the courage in the face of danger. Captain Fecht, would you please come to the podium?
The fire service in general, and the St. Paul Fire Department in particular, is known for many traditions. A relatively new tradition that started in 2011 is the selection of a top recruit. The top recruit award is determined by several criteria: academic grades, practical skills grades, training staff review, and a peer review process where each member of the class ranks all other members of their class in consideration of test scores, leadership, integrity, and character. I would like to have the Academy instructors join me on stage to present this award. As we analyzed the numbers for this class, it was a close competition between several individuals who excelled in the different criteria. One individual did come out on top of the scoring though, and we would like to acknowledge Chris Grandner as the class of 2022B top recruit. Well done. Congratulations, Chris. Another tradition, another academy tradition is the selection of a class speaker. The recruit class has chosen the speaker, and I would like to invite Thomas Lutes to the podium to say a few words.
Thank you, Captain Fecht. On behalf of Academy 2022B, I would also like to extend our welcome to our honored guests, Ruby DeBellis from Senator Klobuchar's office, Council President Amy Brenmoen, Deputy Mayor Tincher, and to recognize Chief Inks, Chief Gady, Chief Simpson, our instructor cadre, and our friends and family. Thank you to everyone for being here to support us today. I am Tom Lutes, but my classmates have taken to calling me Lutes and Boots. Famous for asking too many questions in class, which started way back in Fire 1 when I emphatically asked Chief McDonough what 10 codes were anyway. Therefore, I would like to take this opportunity to push my luck and ask a couple last-minute questions of the cadre. Can I drink coffee while I check the rig tomorrow morning? What is an allied professional? Is there an SOP for public speaking? The last one isn't really a question. There is an SOP. It's SOP 109.1, so now I can challenge that one on a test as well. At any rate, St. Paul Fire Academy 2022B. Most of us started this journey 4 years ago, although Evert says he started it 12 years ago. We were a smattering of lab techs, bankers, actuaries, contractors. Mueller did flooring. We have a couple of veterans, a couple of former teachers, as well as the folks who have been EMTs and paramedics. We are also, of course, spouses and parents. We are each of us children of someone. We are siblings. Regardless of anything else we might list out, in the academy we have been working to become new siblings in the fire service. And regardless, when I ask questions, what I'm really interested in are the stories of how we got here. Including that question about the 10 codes. There has to be a good story there. Like I said, most of us started this process back in 2018. Personally, I felt a huge amount of uncertainty, wondering what had ever become of my application. And then, one day, each of us got a call. Hey, this is the St. Paul Fire Department. Would you like to come in for an interview? Fast forward to the first day of the academy. We had no idea what was going on. I had no idea what was going on. We weren't even at the St. Paul Training Center. We were in a classroom at Century College, and in walks this bald-headed, mustachioed guy in a St. Paul Fire shirt. He didn't bother to introduce himself. He just told us to find a bin and an SCBA with our name on it. Take it to your seat. No, we're not staying in this room. Put your stuff back on the wall and go upstairs to classroom E2313. No, can't leave our stuff downstairs. Go get it and bring it back here. And after all of that shuffling, I finally learned that this was none other than Captain Anton Fehrenbach, our part-time cheerleader, part-time torturer, full-time bromance and motorcycle geek counterpart with Grandner. Captain Fehrenbach once referred to us as a MASH unit. Whether that was a joke or an honest observation, we overcame a vast array of health concerns. A minor COVID outbreak, some other narrowly avoided outbreaks, strained and sore muscles, multiple heat injuries, a couple of thumb injuries, possibly a partridge in a pear tree was overcome as well. We encountered and we overcame in the academy. Multiple cadets had babies during this academy, which meant that the already precious little sleep that we had became less. Mills learned about his unique threat to plumbing and learned how to mitigate that threat in an emergency. Vang described Captain Fehrenbach's car a little too honestly, and we all had to overcome the results of that observation. Which is all to say, we came from all walks. We brought all kinds of experiences. We encountered the challenges of the academy, and we overcame them together. We were kept humble on this journey when our cadre reminded us that every firefighter in the department previous to us had completed these same academy challenges. And now we join that department and continue the work and continue to overcome the challenges with new brothers and sisters in the fire service. Because every good graduation ceremony is not the end of the story, it is in fact the beginning of a new chapter. Finally, there's just one loose end to tie up in this speech, those pesky 10 codes. There are some very academic accounts online for anybody who wants to Google it, but the short version of the story is that 10 codes were developed in 1937 by Charlie Hopper, communications director for the Illinois State Police. He wanted to develop a brevity code system specific to his district, and assumably each of the other districts would develop their own systems. But after 85 years, most organizations that still use 10 codes don't, the organizations that do still use 10 codes just base them off of Hopper's original system. But Boots, you may ask, which districts did Hopper work in? The system. There we go. It was the system's namesake, District 10. Thank you again for everyone for coming out to show your support for St. Paul Fire Academy 2022B.
Believe it or not, that's the version after we cut it down. We have one more tradition to share with you, and that is a class video that attempts to capture at least some of what the class went through for all of you to enjoy.
Okay, thank you very much. My name is Justin Briggle, firefighter. Have been assigned out to training for the last 2 academies, and it's been an honor and a privilege. Just real quickly, I just want to say thank you to Captain Anton Fehrenbach for that video. That was phenomenal. It's a nice job. It's always nice to see those videos get put together and you kind of get that snapshot even as instructors that we don't get to see that, especially being a 2-phase academy where you came out from Century. It's kind of nice to see what you guys experienced early on, so that's very nice. The reading is entitled The Explanation of the Badge. Recruits, you are entering a profession filled with great symbolic traditions, some being centuries old. One such tradition is the Maltese Cross. During the Crusades, a band from the island of Malta, known as the Knights of St. John, gained an indisputable reputation for courage in battle. While attacking city walls, their enemies would hurl glass, containers, flaming torches filled with saturated and flammable liquid known as naphtha, causing hundreds of knights to be burned alive. Those who were still standing risked their lives to save their brothers in arms from dying painful and fiery deaths. Their heroic efforts were recognized by fellow crusaders who awarded them the badge of honor, the Maltese Cross, similar to the one you'll be wearing on your left shoulder. The badge you're about to receive courageously reflects that symbolism. Perched on the top of your badge is a phoenix, the mythological bird symbolizing new life rising of the flames. The continuous rope and the chainer on the outside of your badge symbolizes unbroken service and loyalty, and the torch indicates your willingness to risk your life in an effort to help save those in a time of need. Centuries ago, warriors wore a symbol of their weapon used in which reflected their expertise. When that weapon was crossed, it meant it had been used during a hard-fought battle. On your badge are the crossed tools of a firefighter, which you have demonstrated proficiency throughout your academy. The badge is not just a piece of metal, rather a symbol that carries an obligation to protect and serve those in need. There is no nobler obligation. In all transparency, I've been honored to give this explanation of the badge twice now. The first phase of the academy, now this is the second one. I noticed at the bottom of the page this time it says your speech is done, please sit down. I'm not sure who did that, but I have a tendency to ramble on. But I will say this because I do want to make a personal thank you to the recruit instructors that I've had the honor to serve with. So for you guys, I want to thank you sincerely. It's been tremendous. The fire service is interesting because it's always one of those times where we learn and continue to learn. Just today I learned many things. I should change my name to Lutes because the reception is phenomenal. And 2 is don't ever sit in the front row of a movie theater. And lastly, on a serious note, and I want to send you away with the same message that I sent away the first phase of the academy with, and that is, as firefighters, and you guys come on the streets, you are firefighters, rank of firefighter, as is myself, rank of firefighter. We have many bosses to answer to. As you can see, we have chiefs, dignitaries, representatives, district chiefs, you name it. Mayor's office, we have all the above. We are firefighters, we have to answer to many bosses. And I say this again, and I want to send you off with the exact same message. Our real boss are the citizens that call 911 and the ones that we serve and give us an opportunity to serve them. And please, 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 always remember that. And I wish every one of you, and I can safely speak, I speak for all the instructors that have spent a lot of time for you, and those that understand the profession, and frankly, those in the audience who I hope you never need it, but when you call 911, these are the newest firefighters that will respond to you and treat them with professionalism, as I know you will, treat them with love, and treat them as family. So with that being said, congratulations. I'm very happy for you on behalf of the training cadre, and I look forward to serving with each and every one of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Justin. Class of 2022B, please rise and prepare for the badge presentation ceremony. For the audience, please hold your applause till the end of the presentation. Chief Inks, Chief Skady and Simpson, and distinguished guests, I'll have you join me on stage for the presentation. Yep, and then we'll just have.
Dylan Anderson. Ashley Bartelson. Logan Dedden. Clayton Evert. Chad Goodroad. Chris Grandner. Thomas Lutes. Kevin McDonough. John McMillan. Dillon Mills. Justin Moehle. Ryan Mueller. Scott Nuth. Derek Riley. Lowell Schoenherr. Nick Shutterly. Patrick Spanjers. Chad Strzyzewski. Caleb Thunberg. Touhu Vang.
Chiefs, honored guests, class of 22-B, please return to your seats. Chief Inks, would you please administer the firefighter's oath?
Okay. All right, please raise your right hand and repeat after me as we recite the St. Paul Firefighter's Oath. I state your name. Solemnly swear to uphold the Constitution of the United States. That of the State of Minnesota. All ordinances of the City of St. Paul. And the rules and regulations of this department. I will strive to maintain a spirit of teamwork and cooperation with all personnel. I will seek to give only the highest example of honesty, integrity, and good citizenship. I understand my behavior on and off duty affects the reputation of all firefighters. I will at all times uphold the highest standard of a professional firefighter and the proud traditions of the St. Paul Fire Department. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in congratulating the class of 2022B.
Well deserved. Thank you, Chief Inks. This concludes the class of 2022B graduation ceremony. Thank you all for coming. To the newest members of our department, we wish you a long, safe, and successful career. Welcome to the family.